Now I'm going to show you how to change belts on your main engine if needed. On this style setup, it's fairly easy. Most of our setups are like this. We do have a few that are slightly different. Over here, where your start system is, you'll have a red knob. Not the one that says stop, it's a different one. You will turn that 180 out. You'll hear air release. Once you do, the system that is over here normally will come loose. You can flop it around. Once you've done that, then you can come over here and start taking your belts off. Every bus should have one of these orange cases. They will be in your supply tote with all your belts. In this case, you'll have a big crescent wrench and a breaker bar that does extend. Pull it down towards you and then either pull or push up, whatever you need. Alternator belt will be the second one you take off and will be the very first one to put on if you have to mess with this belt. So the way to do that, take your breaker bar, get it on this tensioner. There's a slot for it. Bring it as far as you can towards the radiator, and then pull to the right side of the bus until it stops. Once it stops, go ahead, slip your belt off, let loose of your tensioner, take your breaker bar off, go ahead and take your belt completely out. Fish it under the crank pulley, comes right out. If you are changing your water pump pulley, you do not need to mess with this one. The only time you need to mess with this belt is only when you're messing with it. So the reason we say second off is you have two tensioners that are right here next to each other. Once you get your breaker bar on there and you take that belt off, this breaker bar is now stuck to this tensioner, so you can't do nothing. So you can go ahead, slip it past your AC belts, get it in your tensioner. Once you're in the tensioner, go as far as you can towards the radiator, push to the right side of the bus. It's only going to move so much. Go ahead, slip it off of the bottom one, then the top one, slide it off. You may have to twist the belt a little bit to get it past. And I say this could be the second one. You could take your AC belts off, but as long as you take this belt off before you do your water pump, you will be okay. So once you've got it off there, go ahead, release it. There you go. Now you can take your breaker bar off. So your AC, you can do it two different ways. You can take this nut loose. You also do have a tiny crescent wrench in there so you don't have to dick with the big one. Loosen this guy up. Usually this one's a 15 millimeter. Sometimes it might be a 16 if it's got changed up to a regular bolt. These two normally are 17s. Once you've got it loose, you can do it two different ways. You can take this completely off and bring it out, or loosen the jam nut at the top. Once the jam nut is loose, go ahead and you can take this, turn it counterclockwise, and it will drop this down. The fastest way is just take this off. Take this nut completely off, take it off, grab your washer, push on the bottom, grab at the top, and you can twist it off, pull like that. Go ahead, take it off. Now you can get your AC belts, take them completely out if you needed. If you're changing this one, this is where this will be the last one to go off. Get your breaker bar in there. Go all of the way as much as you can to the radiator. Go right as far as you can. Slip it off the smooth pulley. That's your water pump. Slip it off a little bit, and then you can work on the top. Let your tensioner go back. Now, over here, you will have to turn the belt flat to slide it past this bracket right here. There's just enough room for that belt to slip past. You can, once you get it over there, slip it, pull your belt. It may get stuck on the bottom side of that bearing. Take the AC belts off. They'll slide under the crank pulley. Go ahead, slide this one out from the crank pulley. Once you slide it out, keep fishing it. Okay, so just in case something does happen and your breaker bar does slip off that back tensioner, you're not going to be able to get that back on there. So what you can do is, it's a 15 millimeter, you have 3 bolts that will take this bracket off. Got one here. Go ahead, get it loose, take it completely out. Once you've got it loose, you can get your other ones loose, and it will help get the rest of them out, so that way they're not in a bind. You can take the tensioner off to help. That is a 15 millimeter as well. It just has one bolt. Bolt may be stiff for a little while, getting it broke loose. Eventually it'll get loose enough where you can use your fingers and twist it off. Hold the tensioner with one hand, take it out with the other, pull the tensioner on right out. Now you can get to the bolt that's underneath the tensioner, get it broke loose. Once you take that tensioner off, you have full access to that tensioner. Once you do, now you can get your breaker bar back on there and get your belts on. All right, so say if you're getting this belt off and it does get wedged between this bearing and this bracket, go ahead and do take it off. You can take your tensioner off, which if you have already. If not, it's a 15 millimeter, just single bolt, take it out. Now this bracket has 3 bolts, 15 millimeters as well. Take them out. You can take this bracket completely off or just loosen your bolts enough. You do not have to take it completely off. Now, this bracket can slide towards the engine more. Either A, get your belt unstuck like that, or if it's still kicking you, go ahead and take the bracket completely off. You can still put your belt completely on if this bracket is off. So once you've got your belt unstuck and either back on the engine or completely off, now you can go back through putting all your belts back on. So now, again, you would turn your belt and slide it. Keep it flat. Slide it past under that pulley. Pull on your bottom a little bit. Keep it flat. You may have to turn it more towards the engine to help so it doesn't stick behind this bracket. Once you do, your belt can come right off. This one, if you had to take it off, no different. Just slide off your crank pulley. Good to go. Slide it back on. Get it past your crank pulley. Get it underneath. Go ahead. Make sure you're somewhat on your crank pulley lined up. You want to be fully seated. Make sure your belt ain't like this or off on the back a little bit. Make sure it's fully seated. Get your breaker bar on. Move your tensioner as far as you can towards the passenger side. It will stop because it hits there. Go ahead, Start with the top alternator, get it fully put on so it looks like that. Go ahead, slide it on your bottom alternator like that. Now sometimes it does come off on the crank on the bottom. As long as you've got your tensioner pushed all the way over, you can push on the belt, push it towards the inside, and she's going to move over. You may have to come to the other side, push it as well to help line it up. It will slide into the grooves. Release the tension, your belt is on. Now, if say in a certain spot you do have it not completely on, you can fix it, or once you fire up the engine, it will do line back up. But always double check after you do belts and you've ran it, just make sure all of them are on their grooves. Sometimes they do like to jump one tooth, and they'll stay one tooth, and that will shred the belt. So once you've got that one on, you can go back to your water pump, slip it over, get it under the crank, get it slid back to its back, turn your belt sideways like that, slide it between the bracket and that pulley, get it all the way down. Once it's all the way down, the belt will kind of go back to its normal stage. Go ahead, get it on your tensioner, on your crank all the way. You can put it up there a little bit to help hold it. Get your breaker bar on. Go ahead, turn it as far as you can towards the right. Slip that past again. Take it off this pulley because it will help. Get it slipped off. Make sure you run the groove over here because sometimes it does like to pop off. Go ahead. Get this one going. If you're still can't get your belt fully on, that tensioner has not gone far enough. So if you hold the belt tight, you can release a little bit to get more to release on your tensioner, so you can bring your breaker bar over more. If you have to, slide it more off your water pump to get it over this pulley. Kind of have to push them sometimes a little bit. Eventually they start going, pops over. Again, you may have to get more room on your tensioner, so relieve it, let it get back more. Still not enough, so I'm holding the belt, getting another click on the ratchet, pushing it over. Once you've got enough of the tension removed down, the easier the more that is the belt to get on. You won't struggle as bad as long as your tensioner did not come off when the breaker bar slipped. So other than that, that belt is on. Now you can put your AC belts on. Get them slipped onto the bottom. Get them both slid under the crank. Go ahead, start with this back belt. Get it on your clutch. Make sure it's good over here. Go ahead, get your other belt on. Sometimes they like to cross underneath the crank. No big deal, just kind of move it over here, slide it back over, they'll go back in. Once you've got them on, take your tensioner for your AC belts, slide it down, slip your belts in the groove, bring it over, line it up, and then push on the bottom, and then push on the top. Now bring that over. Go ahead, put your washer and your nut back on. Go ahead and snug up that nut a little bit. You may have to tap the top sometimes. But go ahead, get this tight, snug. Don't get it tight because you may have to adjust your belts. Once you've got it most of the way tight, go ahead, check your tension of your belts if you need to adjust them. They may be different, but that's okay. As you get everything tightened up, they'll get to the same tension. So right now you want about a 1/2 inch of flex when you push down. If you barely have any flex, you're too tight. Back them off a little bit, which by you loosen your jam nut, run this upwards. This will bring that bracket down. Running the screw clockwise will bring the bracket up, which will tighten the tension. So go ahead, since we loosened it a little bit, let's go ahead and tighten it. Go ahead and tighten your jam nut. Go ahead and then tighten this the rest of the way. Do not get crazy tightening this because it will break the bolt. This will fall off, end up somewhere, and then you won't have a tension for your ACs. Eventually you'll lose your belts. No big deal, we can get this replaced. So once you've got it tight, go ahead, snug it up. That's all you need. If you had to take the tensioner off, go ahead, put the tensioner back on. On the tensioner, you will have 2 holes. One's the threads, and the other one this one goes into. So when it sits in the coach, it's sitting roughly like that. So you'll slide that into the bottom hole. Of course, you'll put the bolt where the threads are. If you put the little stud in the hole first, it will help get your hole lined up where your threads. You can get the bolt started. Get your bolt started, go ahead and tighten up the nut or the bolt. Once your tensioner is tight, go ahead, slip your belt under the crank. Go ahead, slip it under this pulley, lay it on the tensioner, set your belt there on this, let it rest on the top alternator. Grab your breaker bar, get it into your tensioner, come closest to the radiator, go to the passenger side, slip it under that bottom alternator, get it on the pulley, line up your top a little bit, make sure all good. Release it, and you're done changing your belts. Go ahead, fire up the coach, make sure it's all good, make sure none of them are off, because they can come off like that, and then they'll ride like that. Not necessarily this one, but these will, your water pump and your back alternator. If it all looks good after you shut it down, you're good to go. If you got any questions or concerns, please give us a call at the 24-hour mechanic number, and we'll gladly help you out.